A cotton gin is a machine that quickly and easily separates cotton fibers from their seeds, enabling much greater productivity than manual cotton separation. While it was true the cotton gin reduced the labor of moving seeds, it didn't reduce the need of slaves to grow and pick cotton. In fact, the opposite occurred. Growing cotton became more profitable for the planters, that it greatly increased demand for both land and slave labor. The Kansas-Nebraska Act was passed by the U.S. Congress on May 30th, 1854. It allowed people in the territories of Kansas and Nebraska to decide for themselves whether or not to allow slavery within their borders. The act serves to repeal the Missouri Compromise of 1820, which prohibited slavery north of latitude 3630. The Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854 may have been the single most significant event leading to the Civil War. By the early 1850s, settlers and entrepreneurs wanted to move into the area now known as Nebraska. The Kansas-Nebraska Act allowed each territory to decide the issue of slavery on the basis of popular sovereignty.
The Lincoln-Douglas debate. It was a series of 7 debates between the candidates for a seat in the Senate. Lincoln disagreed with Douglas and supported the Wilmot Proviso, which sought out to ban slavery in the new land acquired by the United States. Ultimately, Lincoln lost the election, but it made Lincoln popular. Lincoln wanted to leave slavery where it was and no more expanding in the new states. It eventually led to the Civil War because it made Lincoln popular in the face of, the new party. And basically, it made him popular and it made him president eventually. Bloody Kansas. As tensions over slavery heated up in the 1850s, Congress decided to allow the citizens living in Kansas Territory to decide for themselves through the ballot whether or not the state should enter the Union as a free or a slave state. This led both sides of the slavery debate, those who believed in freedom for all people and those who believed in slavery, to flood into the territory to try to influence the vote. Though Kansas eventually came into the country as a free state in 1861, the events there helped legitimize the idea of violence as a solution to the slavery problem. The bloody events and their use as propaganda by both sides also increased polarization and hatred, further hardening the unpromising positions that led to the Civil War.
After her attempt to escape from slavery, she returned to slave-holding states many times to help other slaves escape. She led them safely to northern free states and to Canada. The Underground Railroad was a network of secret routes and safe houses established in the United States during the early to mid-1800s and used by enslaved African Americans to escape into free states.
The cause to civil war for the Underground Railroad was a secret network organized by people who helped men, women, and children escape from slavery to freedom. It operated before the Civil War, 1861 through 1865. It ended slavery in the United States. Slaves escaping north would often stay in safe houses to escape capture.
The economy of the North versus the economy of the South. The northern region favored industries and small farmsteads than large plantations. The southern region favored large farms for the slaves to pick cotton and tobacco. How it caused the war was the aftermath of the Civil War left the North in relatively good condition economically and the South in shambles. There were many reasons for this, some because of their respective economies pre-war, some because of where the war was fought, and some because the North won and the South lost. Uncle Tom's Cabin, or is also known as Life Among the Lowly, is an anti-slavery novel by American author Harriet Beecher Stowe. It was published in 1852. The novel had many effects on attitudes toward African Americans and slavery in the U.S., and is said to have helped lay the groundwork for the Civil War. How this caused the war was the North had a moral argument against slavery, which made the South look like the villain. This creates division that isn't mended between the northern and the southern regions.
What is the Fugitive Slave Act? The Fugitive Slave Act, which was passed September 18, 1850, was the act requiring all slaves who escaped to be returned to their owners, no matter where where they were, even if they were in a free state. The act made it the federal government's responsible for finding the escaped slaves. This act also made punishments for helping slaves and escaped slaves resist capture. They offered laws offering bounty for capturing and returning slaves. They also passed a 1705 measure designed to prevent runaway slaves from fleeing to Canada. After a while, they repealed the Fugitive Slave Act because the North said it was unenforceable. This angered the South and gave them another reason to secede. Compromise of 1850. This was the argument about whether the land received from Mexico should be free or slave states. California wanted to enter the Union as a free state, but it would have affected the balance between free and slave states. The main importance of the Compromise of 1850 is that it helped stall the secession of the South. This eased tensions between the South and the North, and the people say that if the compromise wasn't made, the South would have seceded 10 years prior to when they did. Although the Compromise of 1850 stalled the secession of the South, it also could have led to war if the balance of free states and slave states were not equal. The reason this could have affected the balance because instead of using the line of latitude to decide if a state was a free state or a slave state, the people were able to vote, making the potential for either of the South or North to become overpowered.